Two Yu-Gi-Oh thieves stealing $33,000 of Blue Eyes White. Are we talking about like the original Blue Eyes White Dragon, like the original card art? I assume it's the
Yu-Gi-Oh has
original.
always had an interesting relationship with card thieves and people who try to obtain rare cards.
I've never been in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament because I heard stories or so that like back then or so people would not shower, so it would smell like dog shit. So I never went to one. I've never went to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament ever in my entire life.
Through nefarious methods, whether that be Merrick's Rare Hunters, whose entire existence was based around this premise, or countless other characters like Bandit Keith, who were shown in
Fun
the anime
fact,
stealing
when
their
I was in
opponent's
elementary, I got the Spanish version of Exodia named as Exosia, El Probigido. And it's the only Spanish card in my deck.
Interesting.
It's always been something that's evident in the IP, but also not glamorized by Takahashi, as usually the perpetrators end up facing swift and harsh justice. Well, ironically, the same is often true for real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! Not claiming, of course, that every person who randomly steals a card out of a kid's trade binder will be caught and face their comeuppance. However, when it comes to people trying to pull off elaborate or over-the-top heists for expensive Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, they are often caught and face public ridicule as their names end up in news publications or in a CapG YouTube video. Such was the case for what I believe could be one of the most brazen and possibly stupidest attempts to steal a high-end card worth thousands of dollars. This happened just a couple of weeks ago in Tokyo, Japan on March 13th. On this day, a 20...
Oh, in Japan, really? Oh shit, I wasn't expecting that.
Have you seen the PKFRKE?
I don't know what that is. Interesting.
2-year-old man by the name of Sora Takashino entered a local trading card store in the Chiyoda ward and politely asked the store's clerk about their incredibly rare Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Dude, I would totally love to go at a card shop. No, I don't watch anime.
Mr. Takashino specifically asked if he could physically inspect the card to verify its condition. Considering this was no typical Blue Eyes White Dragon, but in fact a copy that was worth approximately 4.98 million yen.
What version is that one?
$33,000 American.
Oh, is that oh, it's from LOB. Oh, okay. That Blue Eyes.
It wasn't an unreasonable request. Most people who are looking to spend over $1,000 on a single
Legend of Blue Eyes. That's what that is.
Some sort of guarantee or proof of its physical condition. And the higher the number goes on that card, the more evidence that they'll usually want of its said condition. The clerk agreed to the request, retrieved the card from the display case, and subsequently handed the card to Takashino for inspection.
This guy's one of the bigger Yu-Gi-Oh content creators. He's more on the casual side of it and the value of cards. Oh, okay.
Who had far different plans than simply inspecting the card. The moment the clerk became distracted by other customers in the store, Takashino sprung into action, pocketing the card and immediately beelining for the door. Once Takashino got outside the store, he quickly bolted 400 feet away where his friend and co-worker Kanta Sanmi had a car ready and waiting for a quick getaway.
What?
Once the clerk had caught wind to what had taken place, he immediately contacted the Tokyo City Police Department and notified them of the situation so that they could investigate in hopes of retrieving...
I have this Blue Eyes. This is the Blue Eyes card that I have. I have that one, but I don't think I have the LOB one, so.
The card and catching the would-be thieves. It's at this point I'd just like to take a moment and point out why I personally consider this to be such an incredibly brazen crime.
This is a heist.
Because unlike some of the other unbelievable heists of Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I have covered on this channel, such as the one involving a 28-year-old Kensuke Naganishi who scaled the side of a building in the middle of the night to break into a trading card shop in which he stole nearly $3,000 in cash alongside almost $10,000 in Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon cards, only to be subsequently caught because he was spotted by a randomly placed security camera. Mr. Takashino, on the other hand...
What the are you... What am I listening to? What the fuck? Are you fucking... Oh my god, it is so insane to hear that. Holy shit, dude! This man went fucking. This guy did Mission Impossible. Fucking cartoony ass. Fucking cartoon ass. Fucking. This guy scaled the wall of a fucking building to steal fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro. Holy shit, dude. Wow, that's fucking crazy to hear that.
Chat, should we risk our lives just to steal some paper cards?
Committed this crime at 4:50 p.m. So basically in broad daylight where everyone could see him. Not the smartest decision in my opinion, but definitely ballsy nonetheless. Tashino and his co-worker Kanta Sanmi were now in possession of a $30,000 plus Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Damn.
However, most merchants don't accept Yu-Gi-Oh cards in exchange for goods or services, so they kinda needed a way to sell it, and preferably a quick way. Posting it on an online selling platform was probably an instant no-go, as those can easily be traced back to you, and most places will hold funds for transactions of that scale. In addition, sometimes they can require an authentication process as part of the sale, which will further hold you up from getting paid. So instead, about 3 hours later, the duo traveled to a pawn shop about 6 miles from where the crime was originally committed, to Tokyo's Ikebukuro district. They stopped at a pawn shop there and sold the card for 1 million yen, about 6,600 American dollars,
Jesus, fuck, man. That's a lot or so in yen. Jesus, oh my god, dude, Jesus.
or about a fifth of what the card was actually worth, despite selling the card for far less than it was actually.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money though for me to comprehend though. Even though, yeah, but like, it's still a lot though. For me, that's still a lot. For me, that's an insane amount to be honest.
Worth. This could have been seen as a huge win for both Takashino and the pawn shop, as they both essentially would have gotten huge deals out of all of this and for free. The store gets a $33,000 card for less than $7,000, which presumably it can easily sell on the black market for double the price, and Takashino gets $6,600 for simply stealing the card. However, this entire plan was foiled by a diligent citizen who just so happened to be in the pawn shop during the time that Takashino sold the card. According to news outlets, the customer considered Takashino and Sanmi suspicious individuals and contacted the police after they left. This is just my opinion here, but I'm guessing that the customer probably overheard the details of the sale that was taking place. You know, a nearly $35,000 card being sold for less than $7,000, and thought that it was incredibly shady that someone would be selling a card of that value at a local pawn shop of all places, and that they were willing to accept such a low amount, no questions asked, for said card.
That's
the call made by the
crazy.
individual in the pawn shop to the police led to a further investigation, and 9 days later, both
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, literally Yu-Gi-Oh players who try to steal or so. I get. Well, this is all in Japan, right? They're definitely on a different level compared to Pokemon cards Pokemon people who steal or so in general. Like, bro, that shit is so funny to see that. Bro, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh players are on a whole different level when it comes to stealing. Motherfucker climbs a fucking building. This guy goes into a store, goes into a getaway car, and starts to go on a heist or so, and then tries to. Oh my god, dude, this shit's fucking crazy.
Takashino and Sanmi were found and arrested on March 22nd. The police were able to track Sanmi down using his license plate number on his car, after which he immediately flipped on Takashino and told the police how and where to find him. Sanmi, the getaway driver, claims he didn't actually know that Takashino was going into the card shop to steal cards, and that he was simply helping his friend with a common request of picking him up from a
Kept your word. I have another one after this video. There's no way, right? How crazy can it actually get?
On the other hand, came clean and admitted the entire plot. He told the police that he had been having financial troubles and that he needed the money for rent and food expenses.
Oh yeah, I saw that when I saw that video. That was a long time ago.
With robbery, which is a felony in the United States of America.
How crazy? What's the most craziest one? How crazy can it actually get? I'm so curious.
I don't know this for a fact, but I would guess that the charge was so severe because of the value of the item that they stole. Had it been a booster box of like—
Wait, is that actually, I doubt that's the card, because it has to be a 10 out of 10 PSA graded or so for it to be costing like at least like, I don't know, more than $30,000 or so, you know?
of destruction or maybe $100 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it probably would have been considered petty theft, and honestly it might not have even been investigated at that point. But with a $33,000 card, you better believe that the police are going to take it seriously. As of right now, the outcome of this robbery isn't clear, mainly because the arrest just happened a little over a week ago, but I do
That's crazy, this was a year ago when this video was posted.
Like this seems to happen every single year in Japan. I'm talking a crazy heist of $10,000 or more involving Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon cards. I think it really goes to show just how—
Well, now this day and age, it's mostly Pokemon cards because Yu-Gi-Oh is not that crazy.
How big of a deal trading card games—
yeah, but this video was posted a year ago.
Industry is in Japan. Because if you really think about it, this really wasn't like an elaborate plan or something that was super complex, despite the fact that it involved an insanely valuable card. As many people have pointed out, Takashino basically just copied the plotline of the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! DM, except he skipped the duel. For anyone wondering about the card specifically, this copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon was most likely a 1999 Japanese Jump Fiesta promo Blue Eyes, which, according to PSA grading, can rake in a ridiculous $125,000 if the card is PSA graded 10 out of 10 gem mint. So yeah, Takashino was—
Damn, dude, gem mint or so for that card? I can see why.
Definitely out here rare hunting, and I just find it ironic that he was caught because of a complete stranger. I mean, one can only imagine what Japan has cooked up for us in 2025, because these guys are out here doing next level heist, and it never ceases to amaze.
That's crazy to hear that. Actually, can be the early version is Yu-Gi-Oh is very hard to grade because most of them had shitty prints. I see. So there's a lot of like shitty prints or so in general. Oh, Mega Capital G. Oh my god, I have not heard this channel in such a long time. That's crazy to see that. Is this Yu-Gi-Oh related? Oh no, this is not the subject we're talking about right now. Make sure to keep it to the subject that we're talking about right now, so. That's crazy. Honestly, that's pretty absurd to hear that. Man literally goes in. 2 men arrested over a theft of 5 million Yu-Gi-Oh card in Akihabara. Bro, I would love to go to in Japan or so a card shop. It'd be pretty cool to see that, actually. Just to see in general of like what they have over there. Maybe I'll probably pick some up, you know, maybe pick some cards or so, maybe a booster box or something like that from over there. Yeah, but we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh though. We're not talking about Pokemon right now, so yeah, that's why. That's cool. I never heard about this story ever. This Yu-Gi-Oh player was arrested and suplexed for Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Okay, now that sure is different. Definitely a different heist compared to like Pokemon people. Pokemon people like try to like steal Pokemon cards in the most dumbest way possible to steal. Like they got a Pokemon card in front of them, right? I have this Magerna Pokemon card, right? They're like looking at it, right? They're like kind of like looking at it, right? And then they're looking around or so, right? They're just like looking around, and then they have the camera's fucking looking at them, and then they just fucking like slip it. They just like slip it in their pocket or whatever. It's just like, bro, you're not slick, okay? You're not that slick for that. What is this? Is this another one? Is this Yu-Gi-Oh related too?
Thief was caught on camera in a smash and grab, breaking in.
Oh no, but that's Pokemon. We already seen this one already. Yeah, we already seen this one already. So, anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, cool shit though. That's funny. And peace. Maybe we'll watch the other one. The other video where like apparently the guy was climbing up the side of a building or so, stealing Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like Pokemon cards. We'll take a look at that probably next time.